Hey, it's Darren with Arbitrage Trade, and it is time for Deep Dive with Daniel. Daniel from across the seas. He joins us each week and gives us his infinite wisdom on the stock market as an institutional guy. He's not doesn't work for them, but he is one. Trust me. So this week we have the this week his his blog was about the turnaround of Meta Facebook from doomed to dominant. Dun dun dun. So he's also a Zuck hugger too. So here we go. It's
Now I am. Now I am. Now that I realize he's not a lizard person and he knows how to drink water.
you
Hell, he
don't think
hell he upgraded the
don't know
beer.
that. He could be. He still could be. He definitely
Well,
looks like
he
it
he
sometimes.
got a he got a new better skin. I guess I don't know.
He ordered online. Amazon
Yeah, yeah,
skin.
yeah.
Yes.
What the lizard people wear, they gave him an upgraded skin.
See,
No.
people say lizard, and I'm like, oh, he could just be an alien. He could come out of Area 51 and then started this whole company. So it was a good movie, though. I did like that movie. It's when he how long ago was that? About 20 years ago? I don't remember that movie. It was pretty good though. So anyway, let's
Wait,
let's
the
move on.
social network?
Yes, that's what it was. Yes, it
It
was
wasn't
good.
20 years ago.
Is he even 20
There's
years old?
no
I don't
It
know.
was 14 years ago.
Okay, that's okay. I'm glad you had the real facts. Remember, we don't bring facts. All right, so here we go.
It's the
Um,
institutional side.
so this whole thing about you just gotta bring narratives. All right, so the whole thing with this is it went down hard because of privacy rights and user control, all that good stuff, right? And then you mentioned
Mhm.
a thing called ATT, App Tracking Transparency, and Apple. So just kind of summarize for us what happened, what made Facebook get kind of scary for a bit, and then we'll talk about how it turned it around.
Yeah, so it was in 2021, which is, primetime COVID, that Apple came out with an update that essentially said that apps couldn't track you once you were off the app anymore. So, cross app when you go to the internet, check your email kind of thing, which is how Facebook collected it. And, there are other properties like Instagram collected data on you that would then figure out what kind of ads to serve you best, which is why ads used to be so good. And then Apple said, you can't do that anymore, right? Users have to opt into it, which I'm sure, Darren, you're like me, where you always say, do not track, right? Or even though before I didn't care at all, but now I'm like, yeah, I don't want to track, even though my ads suck. But anyway, they can't do that now, right? So they lost essentially their ad targeting mechanism. And because of that, investors, the market was like, oh, well, without this, they can't really target ads. And, everybody immediately was talking about how you couldn't, target ads, users weren't converting. So, essentially their entire revenue model was going to dry up. And so their stock price, whenever it started dropping, bottomed in November 2022. And approximately that was like the same level as that in like 2015.
Okay, so 6 years of hey, even.
Just completely erased within like, maybe 3, 4 months of falling.
Right, I do remember that when that happened, but everything else was falling around us, so it was like, okay. We're
Yeah,
gonna have to take
but
that one down too, but
at that point, like a lot of things had come back. So that was kind of the
that's true.
outlier of like,
That's true.
like, you know, because it had
Yeah,
already done its little COVID rally and then it tanked even more.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. So then there was a turnaround, and so you
Mhm.
have made Zucker into a little hero, um, kissing his hand and everything else. So just he did a couple. I think you pointed out three different things that he did with
Mhm.
diversification and making the advertising better, and then of course the big one, which we'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, just break those down.
Yeah, so the way they came back is diversifying the revenue streams. So not only has their advertising kind of come back and find different ways to, target ads, but also doubling down on like Facebook Marketplace and Instagram Shop to kind of create, new e-commerce avenues. And then they also kind of started investing in the metaverse, right? I think that
Hmm.
the whole trend of what he was expecting to invest was more than all of the money that had been spent on the space program ever or something, which also created like some activist investor kind of stuff, which I do think was good, right? That was like probably like hey, have fun doing that, but like don't forget what makes you money, right? So
Well, you know what
but
I
that
think about
that
activists. Yeah, you know what I think about activist investors, but we won't. That's a whole different one. Um,
I mean, look
the
at the stock though,
but
Darren.
did you see what? No. Okay. I remember when it crashed, when they talked about how much money was being put into the metaverse, and when
Yeah,
that
yeah.
first was announced, that stock went,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, for sure.
sort of like AI.
And then the activist investors came in, said, "This is dumb. You need to cut that by 9/10." And then, happy days, we went back, baby.
It was planned. It was all planned. The activist
Oh, it
investors
was
are
planned.
planned so that they can short it down and then they can pop it back up and make money on the way back up. I mean,
I wish I
that's
had
what
that kind of planning in my life.
yeah. If I knew about it every time, yeah, it'd be great. You can make a lot of
Yeah,
money.
right.
So basically, what you're saying is then he became, after all this happened, and he had his little cape, his little Z instead of S, Superman cape. He changed his PR. He changed. I don't know if he did it himself or he was actively pursued and said,
Mhm.
"Hey, you need to do this." But he did a few things to try to make himself not this person who's always hiding from the public, but actually becoming part of the public. So, what are a few of the things he did there?
So I mean, the first thing that started to really put him on the radar, because I'm sure we all remember his like original 60 Minutes interview when he was a kid, and it was so rough to watch, right? But then I forget, maybe it was in 2022. He goes on Rogan and literally talks to Joe Rogan about Brazilian jiu-jitsu for like 3
Yeah.
hours, right? That, and I think maybe the metaverse a little bit, right? And at that point, everyone's like, the level at which he knew about jiu-jitsu would indicate that he had at least had been doing it for like a year, right?
It's the guy has to protect himself because of all the crap he's done. Um,
Okay,
but
come on.
also
He's like one of the
remember
richest dudes in the world. You don't think he has huge
remember I
bodyguards?
know, I'm just playing, but you remember he wanted to have this great fight with Elon Musk, wasn't that
Elon?
him? Yeah, there
Yeah,
was gonna
yeah,
be a
yeah.
big battle or something, and they were gonna basically go at it, and they were talking about how Musk could use his weight to pin him down. I don't know. That was nuts.
That
And
I
that was probably
remember.
also planned for that to kind of give him more of a
I
human.
remember
Yeah.
when Elon went on Rogan, which like think about what you want for Rogan, whatever. Like he does know a lot about fighting, right? Has been
I
in
like
that
Rogan.
world since he
Yeah.
was a kid,
Mhm.
and Elon's like, well, I'm bigger than him, so I'll just outpower him and like sit on him, right? And Joe's like,
Whatever.
that's not how this works at all. Like if he has
Right.
even mild technique, like it's just not how it,
Mhm.
and Elon's like, no. Like says like pretty funny to like he's like, I don't, and Rogan's like, are you serious right now?
No.
Like,
I mean,
but
it was never gonna happen. We all know that. It was never really gonna happen, but it was certainly a
I
PR
feel
stunt.
like I feel like it might have, but I guarantee you, not a single insurance company was like insure, right? Because like they're not going to do it without like some kind of insurance, right? And like
Uh,
they're like, what, you want us to insure billionaires? Like, pass.
it'd be like a wrestling thing. It'd be all scripted, and it would be, give the money to charity at the end of the day,
And I would
and now
still, that'd be the only fight that I would legally ever pay for to date. I would pay for that one, so the stream doesn't get
gotcha,
interrupted.
real or not. I get you.
I would pay for CEOs to duke it out. But anyway, so that was the start. Then
Mhm.
he, post a video of him doing a Murph, which is a fitness challenge in like 45 minutes, which is an insanely impressive time, right? Like my old roommate, who is very in shape and did CrossFit, did his in like 55 minutes, right? And Zuckerberg is much
I
more
forget what
busy than
Murph
him.
is. Explain what Murph is, just for those that
The
don't know,
Murph
like
is
me.
like a CrossFit challenge where you wear, I think it's a 25-pound weighted vest. You
Oh,
run
okay.
you run 1 mile, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then run another mile.
Whew,
And so
ouch.
he did that, and it was like 45 minutes, which is like a
Mm.
really good time. I forget what the world record is, but 45 minutes is like a stellar time, let alone for, a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. But so
Yeah,
he's
or
been, good.
I mean, he was programmed to be able to do that, right? As part of the robot he
I
is, and
mean, dude,
yeah,
programming or not,
he's
like
he's he's
that's some
he's
good
alien, right?
programming.
He's an alien or a lizard or something. I don't know. That's all
Yeah.
been out there that he's not real.
Oh yeah, I definitely think he's a lizard person, but he's a
He
cool
does.
one now.
I mean, his face, it looks kind of scary sometimes, but
Yeah, he still doesn't have a tan, but now he's like he wears a little gold chain, right? He has hair now, right? Like I'm sure, then and to cap it off, the picture he posted on the 4th of July or little video was him wake surfing on a lake in a tuxedo, drinking a beer, holding an American flag, which the only thing
yeah,
that was missing was a bald eagle in the background, you
there you
know?
go.
And
There you
so
go.
now from the November 2022 bottom, the stock's up over 500%.
There you go. And you're a fan, evidently a fanboy, a Zucker fanboy, and
I mean, I'm still
because you
pissed I
said,
didn't buy when I said I was
well,
gonna buy, but
that's yeah, but we're talking about just the person, not the money. But you mentioned him as being cool, like a cool factor. That's what it is. He's now cool, at least to
because
you.
he was like not cool before.
Okay, I'm gonna stay with that one. Not cool. Obviously, we're gonna disagree on that. Just
I
because
mean,
of who
as
we are.
far as CEOs go, like, would you rather hang out with Zuckerberg or like Mark Benioff or like
Neither,
the
neither,
CEO of like Alcoa?
neither, none.
Come on, you wouldn't like they take you out to a nice dinner,
I,
some
I might take to
expensive
dinner.
wine.
Yeah,
You're not like, you're not gonna pick. I go
Zuck
chug
could take
beers
me.
with Zuck on
You
a
know what?
boat and go wake surfing.
I'll hang out with the Virgin Atlantic guy at his island. I'll do that.
Oh,
I'm
Richard
gonna
Branson.
if I'm gonna yeah, if I'm gonna pick a CEO, I'll do that. Anyway,
Fair
so
enough.
investor confidence came up at the same time as all this was happening, and then money was thrown basically at Meta. And we're still wondering when that Meta is going to take place and actually be a thing, like a lot of the AI we're doing right now. So future looks bright, most likely for Meta. And got anything else to add to that?
No,
Nope.
I look
Future's
forward to
bright.
the further improved Zuck.
What's he going to do in social media for the rest of the holidays? I guess we'll have to see.
I don't even follow him. I just see the memes come
I don't
around.
either. I don't either.
That's when you know
I
I've
know you're not
officially become a
surprised.
fanboy when I follow
I,
him.
I know you're not surprised, but yeah, I don't follow. All right. Well, I appreciate you bringing this in to this week, and stay safe over across the seas. And